I was married to my husband for 40 years. I thought I knew everything about him. The good years. The difficult years. The small habits you notice after living with someone for decades. But 2 weeks after his funeral, I found something hidden in the back of his closet. And in that moment, I realized I had been living with a stranger. My name is Margaret. I am 62 years old. For most of my life, I believed I had a simple marriage. Not perfect. No marriage is. But stable. My husband Robert worked as an electrician. Quiet man. Reliable. The kind of person who fixed things instead of talking about them. We raised 2 daughters in a small house outside Dayton. The kind of life that looks ordinary from the outside. And maybe it was. Until the day he died. Robert had a heart attack on a Tuesday morning. No warning. No long illness. Just a phone call from the hospital. 40 years together, and suddenly the house was silent. For the first week I could barely function. The funeral, the paperwork, the casseroles neighbors kept bringing. Everyone told me the same thing. Take your time. So I did. I stayed home. I cleaned slowly. I opened drawers I hadn't touched in years. And then one afternoon, I went into Robert's closet. There was a box pushed far into the back corner. Old. Dusty. Taped shut. I almost ignored it. But something about the way it was hidden made my stomach tighten. When I opened it, my hands started shaking. Inside the box were photographs. Dozens of them. And none of them were of me. The woman in the pictures looked about my age. Brown hair. Soft smile. In one photo she was sitting on a park bench with Robert. In another they were standing beside a lake. They looked comfortable together. Not like strangers. Like people who had spent many quiet years side by side. At first I thought the obvious thing. An affair. After 40 years of marriage, that possibility felt like someone had punched a hole in my chest. But then I saw the photo that changed everything. It showed Robert standing beside that woman, and a little girl. The girl couldn't have been older than 6. She was holding Robert's hand. And smiling up at him the way children smile at their fathers. My husband didn't just have an affair. He had another family. The realization made the room spin. 40 years. 2 daughters with me. And somewhere out there, another child. I sat on the floor with those photographs spread around me. Every memory suddenly felt uncertain. The nights he worked late. The weekends he said he had extra jobs. How many of those moments were lies? For 2 days I told no one. Not my daughters. Not my friends. Just me and that box of photographs. But then I found something else. At the bottom of the box was a small envelope. Inside was a letter. And it wasn't written by Robert. It was written by the other woman. I read that letter 3 times. Robert had been visiting them for 23 years. Never abandoning us. Never leaving his family. But trying to care for another child he never knew existed. Helen ended the letter with a sentence that broke my heart. She wrote. Robert never told Margaret because he was afraid she would feel betrayed. But he loved her deeply. He always said she deserved peace. For several days I didn't know what to do. Part of me felt angry. Part of me felt sorry for him. And part of me felt something I didn't expect. Understanding. A week later I called the number Helen had written in the letter. Her daughter answered. She is 40 now. Her voice sounded nervous when I told her who I was. For a moment neither of us spoke. Then she said something very quiet. I always wondered about you. We met 2 months later. She has Robert's eyes. The same calm voice. The same gentle way of speaking. And when I looked at her, I didn't see a betrayal anymore. I saw a piece of the man I had loved for 40 years. Robert didn't tell me the truth while he was alive. But in the end, the truth found me anyway. And strangely enough, it didn't destroy my memories. It simply made them more complicated. Because the man I married wasn't perfect. But he tried, in his quiet way, to take responsibility for every life he touched. And now, at 62 years old, I've learned something about love. Sometimes it's not as simple as we want it to be. Sometimes love is messy. And sometimes, the people we think we know best still carry secrets we never imagined.